During a recent motorhome adventure, I ventured northwest looking for a base from which to visit Chester. After a bit of searching around, I stumbled upon Delamere Wood campsite, a camping and caravanning club site, and decided to spend a few nights. Further to my stay, here's a quick, honest and unbiased account of my experience. I should point out that I recorded this review to accompany my motorhome adventures blog, and I've included a link to the blog in the video description if you're interested, of course. Set in Delamere Woods, this site is in pretty and picturesque surroundings that are a good distance from busy roads and hence road noise, but still have excellent access. I had no problems at all with my little 6-metre motorhome, and there is loads of rooms for much larger units too. As soon as you enter the site, it is clear it is a well maintained and cared for site. The grass was cut, the trees and hedges were nicely trimmed, there was no litter, and everything looked neat, tidy and well organised. Whilst attractive, it doesn't have the wow factor that some campsites have. As you'd expect, the pitches are set out to maximise the number of pitches with the minimum amount of space between each one to comply with fire regulations. This is pretty standard for all commercial sites, so it shouldn't come as no surprise when there isn't loads of room around or between each of the pitches. The pitches themselves are large and very spacious. We were asked to park our motorhome in the middle of the pitch, which is fine, but it did look kind of lost. The pitches are large enough to accommodate very large units, and in the pitch next to us was one of those 5-wheel jobbies, and around the site there were plenty of 8-metre and 9-metre motorhomes, as well as a couple of those executive bus-sized Heimers. I don't think you'd have any pitch issues on this site no matter how big your unit. I chose the pitch at the far end of the site, furthest away from the facilities block. I was advised by the warden the bottom end is the quieter part of the site, which was what I wanted, but what he failed to mention was the train line runs less than 10 metres behind the pitch. The trains comprised only 2 or 3 carriages, so they weren't that big and they didn't make loads of noise, but I could obviously hear and also see the trains as they came past. When the trains aren't thundering past the pitch, this campsite is nice and peaceful, but as you'd expect, the trains break the silence. There is a single facilities block right at the top of the site that is fresh, modern and bang up to date. To access the toilets and showers, there is a code lock, which is a bit of a faff. I am not a fan of code locks, but given the closeness to the forest and the proximity of the general public, I do understand why the code locks are necessary on this site. The shower cubicles are very small, as demonstrated here as my phone had problems trying to focus whilst recording this video. Whilst I had few problems with my 5-foot 8-inch and medium build frame, other taller and larger people may struggle somewhat. The shower cubicles are short and the entire cubicle floor gets a soak in, even when the shower curtain is pulled across, making getting changed a balancing act. Shower cubicles that are so small the entire floor gets a soaking is one of my pet hates. The showers are the push button type and the water flows for 20 seconds each press of the button. Yep, I really am that sad I counted how long the water flowed because I couldn't rinse my very short hair on a single press. Boy am I glad I don't have long hair to contend with. The toilets and showers are immaculate, but with only 4 showers, 3 toilets, 3 basins and a long urinal, I don't think they are sufficient for a campsite of this size. There are loads of pitches on this site, and with it being a family site there is the potential for several people per pitch, which obviously adds up to a lot of residents. The point I'm trying to make is, there are too few toilets, showers and sinks for the amount of people, and I experienced this throughout my entire stay. Every day I had to queue for the showers, and there were times when I had to queue for the toilets too. The campsite is on the edge of Delamere Forest, which appears to be a popular place for walking, trail running and cycling, and this seems to be what most campers come to this site to do. Delamere Forest is nice, especially when the autumn colours are out. If you want to see what Delamere Forest is like, I've put a link card in this clip. Please feel free to check it out. I paid £33.13 per night as a non-member. Had I been a member, I would have saved myself £7 per night. Personally, I think £33 a night is very expensive and far too much. Even if I was a club member and paid £26 per night, it is far too much for what the site is and has to offer. Okay, this is a nice site in a great location. It is neat and tidy and well looked after. The toilets and showers are modern and clean. There is a washing up area in the laundrette. The pitches are spacious, but when you're staying on the camping and caravanning club site, all of these things are to be expected. The reason I think this site is overpriced is because of the number of negatives, which include too few toilets, sinks, showers, and having to wait for them in queue. This site was the second site on a 2-week tour around, and the first site was a small, privately owned site that offered the same facilities other than the washing machine, which is of no importance to me whatsoever, and the noisy train line for £22 a night. Comparing the two sites, the private site was better value for money and by far the better site, so when the wardens at this site were encouraging us to join the club and sign up, I think I'll pass and decline. The club sites are nice, I can't deny it, but they are damn expensive and I don't think they are good value for money. If you're not averse to spending a lot of money for a pitch, or are less tight than I am, Delamere Forest campsite is worth a look. If you're the sort of person who, like me, wants value for money, I would recommend looking elsewhere and finding a privately owned campsite, unless you have a specific reason to stay on this site.